passage that the minaret rests upon is today known as Harat al-Salihiyya, and it separates the two wings of the madrasa. The entrance to the alley is actually the doorway to the madrasa. Some relics of the wooden beams indicate that this passage was originally covered. The passage entrance is crowned with a beautiful keel arch niche of the carved stone with a foundation inscription of the Naskhi script in the center. Flues radiate from the decoration outward, evolving into a frame of stalactites on the border of the niche. Flanking this large central niche are two somewhat smaller recesses that also have fluted hoods with a rectangular frame with the stalactite cresting. The 13th century minaret of the Madrasa of Salih ad-Din, also known as As-Salihiyya, has obviously undergone recent restoration. Clean and sparkling, it shows a patchwork of old and new stone, clearly revealing the layers of the history. Missing areas of the decoration have been left missing, and yet the overall effect is one of a building that is well cared for. Madrasa of As-Salih Najmuddin Ayyub, also known as Al-Madrasa Al-Salihiyya. The madrasa is located on a distinctive site in the Fatimite street called Al-Mu'izz li-Dinillah Street, known for being on the procession path of the Shia Fatimites, Bain al-Qasrain in Cairo.
Well, we are now inside the mausoleum of Salih Najmuddin Ayyub, and we can see just in the middle of this square floor mausoleum the cenotaph of the Sultan, which was built by Shagar al-Durr, his wife, during the middle of the 13th century. Also, on the right side, the walls mediated with the mihrab. Unfortunately, we have the missing part of the hood. Unfortunately, all the ceramic and the marble was dismantled. Also, we can see on the lower part the marble dados with two columns with nice capitals on both sides. Actually, the leader of the Ayyubid dynasty, who's called Salih Najmuddin Ayyub, was fought the Seventh Crusade during the time of the Ayyubids, and unfortunately he died before the battle ended, and the leaders of the army resumed fighting the Crusaders. Louis, the King of France, was arrested by the leaders of the Egyptian army, probably by Babers himself, and Shagar ad-Dur, his wife, built this mausoleum for him after his death. After the end of the Seventh Crusade, the Sultan was buried in this mausoleum, and it was very close to the school that was built behind the mausoleum. On the walls we can see a wide band of Quranic verse in Sulusi script, mentioning some holy verses and some titles and names of the Sultan. Unfortunately, the pavement of the mausoleum disappeared, and the recent pavement was replaced by the Committee of Preserving Arab Monuments. The mausoleum of Salih Najmuddin Ayyub is topped with a dome, a big dome, resting over spherical triangular pendentives with big windows made of stucco and pierced with colored stained glass. This is to enlighten the mausoleum with different colors during day and night. This window is known as the moonlet and the sunlet. On the upper part of the dome, we can see a row of windows also to enlighten the mausoleum. Underneath, we can see a band of Kufic script. It's called the plated Kufic, mentioning the names and the titles of the Sultan, Salih Najmuddin Ayyub. The windows on the right side, it's open to the school of Salih, which was built during his time. This is the first school to have 4 Iwans for teaching the 4 sects of Islam, the 4 schools of Islam. Unfortunately, the school is hardly ruined at the moment, and we can see some remaining parts our next stop. Also from the madrasa, we will see the minaret of the madrasa, which fortunately still survived and in a good state of preservation.
The Ayyubid architectural complex was built in the heart of Fatimite Cairo that offered the city a new architectural style. Much admired by the Mamluks, the new manner was imitated in the Mamluk complexes that gradually extended along Al-Mu'izz Street, forming the main artery or qasbah of the city of Cairo. Today, all the buildings that house these schools have been obliterated, and nothing remains of them except the ruins of 2. The Madrasa Al-Kamiliyya, built AH 622, AD 1225, and this one, the Madrasa Al-Salihiyya, were a part of the Western Iwan, laying in close proximity to the mausoleum, belonging to the builder. Its facade and entrance and the minaret still stand. this brings us to the end of Treasures for this week. Wait for us next week with a different place and a different story. And until we meet again, it's goodbye.